Is it live? Is it live?
From Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill here in Denham Springs. Welcome to the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handegriff, Jimmy Ott, Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Max Gotro needed the day off after carrying Jimmy on the golf course on weekend, so we're gonna give him a little bit of grace today.
You don't know how much of an understatement that is.
I can guess.
Whatever you imagine, it was worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, look. Max is an excellent golfer, and you're not. So we sort of figured a nice event for
not a golfer, period. But that Fallen Oak is it's a treat, man.
Yeah, it's one of the real nice perks of going down to the Beau Rivage where we are all fall and part of the spring. I understand it was an excellent event, and glad you guys had a good time. Glad Max was able to carry you on the golf course over the weekend. We got a lot to get to today between the end of the regular season in college baseball and the top eight, a long discussion about that, the NBA playoffs, the PGA Championship, the Preakness. But we start today with breaking news. About an hour ago came the word that President William Tate has resigned at LSU. He's been there since 2021. So this is an LSU story, so it's sort of a sports story, but Tate came from South Carolina. He was the executive VP over at the University of South Carolina, and he's worked at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, at Washington University in St. Louis, and he is headed to Rutgers. This is not a huge surprise, maybe the timing of it, but when is the timing going to be? Going to be perfect. Tate was the first African-American president ever at LSU, and I don't think it was a real big secret that this was not going to be his final job, that he was looking for something that would eventually get him in the president's role at an Ivy League school, and this is probably a step in that direction. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on the administration for every school in the Northeast, but I know Rutgers is a pretty good school, so he'll be closer to that. And this was sort of a lifetime goal for him. Tate, in my opinion, did exactly what you want a president to do from an athletic standpoint. I'm not going to speak to any other portions of the job that ain't my corner of the store, but what I want from a president I'm going to speak as a fan for a second, is to let the athletic director and the coaches do their job, show up and cheer, and give them the resources with which to operate and largely stay out of the way. I've been a big proponent on this. Jimmy's heard me say this a million times. This works very well when the chain of command goes in the order that it's supposed to. The voters elect the governor. The governor appoints the president along with the board of supervisors. They hire the athletic director. The athletic director hires the head coach. The head coach hires the assistant coaches, and we go on down the road. It gets screwed up when the chain of command is upset. I don't like it when athletic directors try to hire assistant coaches. I don't like it when governors try to hire head coaches or athletic directors. This chain of command seemed to run pretty smooth, and that's all you can ask out of
I thought he's way too involved.
You did?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Behind the scenes, absolutely.
In what way?
Oh, well, you want to start with Will Wade?
That's one, but I think that the athletic director had a lot to do with that too. But go ahead.
I think he's been way more with athletics and in other way more active, kind of making his mark than I remember when I was in school. You were in school, and just kind of the kind of behind the scenes William Jenkins and those type of guys.
Yeah, there was another layer when we were in school
he was
too.
Trying to make his mark. Man.
There was a chancellor. I didn't see where he really. The Will Wade thing, I think, was probably a joint decision. I don't know that he was the driver behind that. He certainly had to okay it, and that's part of it.
He did not like Will Wade. He did not want. He wanted him out, and
he wasn't the only one.
He was a. Well, there are a lot of people that want him too.
Yeah. I meant in the administration that wanted him
that's
out.
not his job.
No, it's
that's not his job.
It's the athletic director.
He was a big deal. He was a big.
You think the athletic director fought for Will Wade?
No,
I don't either.
No,
that's where I.
But his name, my sources told me constant Tate. No, Tate this. No,
I didn't. I
never remember William Jenkins. So it just didn't work.
Jenkins did not meddle at all. If the athletic director had fought really hard for Will Wade and the president had overruled him, I would agree with you. I thought that the athletic director had the final say on that. We'll never know for sure. We weren't in those meetings, but at least they were in lockstep on that. The president and the AD both wanted him out, and they got him out. We thought that was a mistake. We still do. The rest of it, I thought he let Woodward hire who he needed to. He let him hire the football coach. He, largely stayed out of the way with that. Has he let him spend too much money? Probably. That's an ongoing theme with athletic directors right now, that you're spending way too much money because you need all of this money to run an athletic department now. I think that more or less, I thought he stayed out of the way.
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay,
that's
cool.
For me, Tate, say la vie, bro. See you.
If you're looking for, and I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of names because, frankly, I don't know who a lot of administrators are that would apply for this job. It's a pretty attractive job. It pays really well. It's a pretty big school. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of interest in it. One name that is going to come up, and I don't know if he's going to get the job or not, is Eric Monday. Eric Monday is the executive VP for finance at the University of Kentucky. He's been there since 2012. But before that, he was at LSU for quite a long time. He was basically the finance director when he was here. He was the administrative services and CFO at LSU in 2010 to 2012. But before that, he had held other positions at LSU. He's got 3 degrees from LSU. He got his bachelor's, his master's, and his doctorate, all from LSU. So he's got a lot of LSU ties. He's been working in the league a long time. And, well, that's a name that you're probably going to hear a lot about, Eric Monday at Kentucky as a prime candidate for this job. Will he get it or not? Who can say? So that's, again, the president, from an athletic standpoint, generally the president is best when they are doing something else. Let the athletic director run the show until you think the athletic director can't run the show, and then you change the athletic director. I don't like it when you change steps, and maybe he did have a little bit more to do with the Will Wade thing than I'm giving him credit or blame for.
Tate's not an LSU guy.
He was never going to be here very long. This was always going to be.
Eric Monday used to live a few doors down the street from me.
Yeah.
He's an LSU guy.
Yeah, I
can tell you that.
Been half his life here.
When you replace, so I think that there's some people that were some LSU people, long-term LSU people, a little like, hey man, this outsider, you're not going to be here long, man. You need to blend in a little bit more. And it was that's a lot of the criticism I heard about Tate.
Yeah,
like you knew he wasn't going to be here long. You don't care about LSU.
Well, it doesn't mean he didn't do his job. I mean, this was never his dream job.
I think he did more than his job.
Okay.
Did too much.
It was always going to be a stepping stone job for him to go somewhere else. We knew that when he got here. It was 3 to 5 years was the pretty much the chalk on him. When a better job came up in the Northeast, he was going to probably take it. So. That's what happened here. We'll see how long it takes him to fill a position. Eric Monday is a name that you're going to hear. You'll probably hear some more in the coming days. But that news coming out here just about an hour ago. Other than that, how was your weekend? We had the golf. We had John Foster came up a little bit short last night. Spent my no NBA last night. Watched that yesterday afternoon. The golf was so I watched all of American Idol last night.
Yeah, man.
And he came up just short. He finished second, but good run, and he'll have a great career. I don't know how it's a nationwide vote. They had, I think, 30 million people voted. So
it's all on a vote.
It's all on the vote. Yeah, the judges don't do anything at
30
this
million.
stage. I think it was the all-time high. I want to say it was somewhere between 25 and 30 million. Yeah, they had twice as many people vote as last year. And the only reason I know that is they said it on the broadcast. And they don't release the tally. At least I didn't see. But it was probably close.
You knew that thing you attended was going to come off good on TV, which it did.
Yes,
it did. But I mean, it's
the other ones did too. All 3 of them had a parade. All 3 of them had a concert. They all looked good.
I knew the blonde haired girl. She wasn't going to get it, but anyway,
she sang really well.
But it was Charlie. It was kind of an unfulfilling sports weekend. Man, let's start off Friday night. I thought we were going to have a classic. In the golf, man, that was terrible. I mean, it's good for the Knicks, but I mean that was
blood.
I mean, the worst worst clinching game lost in history of the Boston Celtics. They've been in a lot of series. So, but I mean, yesterday, about what, 10 minutes, 21-10, the Nuggets were up, and that was it. That was not close. It was even a hockey. They had a game 7 last night. That was a blowout. I mean, the one thing was the Preakness wasn't supposed to be worth a damn, and it was by far the best. I mean, you want to talk about overcoming some adversity, and I mean that was, now we got the sovereignty in journalism, at Saratoga for the Belmont, but that was
the best horse won that race.
Yes.
You got to be so much better to come that trip.
And keep in mind, the turns at Pimlico are like tighter. Okay, so if you want to make a wide move, you might be giving up more ground than usual, and I think that's where he wanted to try and stay close to the rail. And but when you stay close to the rail, sometimes you're taking a risk. You could be. It was almost like the 3 horses were in cahoots. I mean, I didn't see how he was going to do it. He does split them. He's bumped all over the place, thrown around, and still has to make a late charge. I thought. Was it Sandman? Was
Sandman
on the outside.
He
looked like he was going to pass him by.
Yeah.
And no, it was a hell of a.
I thought they should have DQ'd the one. I thought he clearly interfered with journalism. I forgot the one's name, but big bumping in the middle of the stretch, and I thought they should have DQ'd him. Wouldn't have changed the outcome of the race any, but I thought they should have placed him last. I thought he clearly interfered with journalism.
But yes, journalism by far, the best. And the Derbies, it's not rarely. I'm going to say rarely, but you need so much luck because it's so many more horses running a distance they haven't. But it was. For the Preakness, when you don't get the Derby winner in the Preakness, I mean, it takes a lot of juice out of it. Yeah. And man, not good. That was something.
It was a terrific.
That was
race.
a lot of horse racing people were really right now. What the result? The favorite won. Yeah. It was like even money. Well, it was no big deal, but the race itself was just it was great.
A lot of bumping on that, and then on Sunday. Scotty Scheffler is maybe. Let me say this: if you are a observer of golf, a fan of golf, you gotta love watching a great golfer. A guy that's got the potential to be maybe when he finishes one of the greatest. I don't think we're overstating with what he's done so far in his career at 28. But if you bet on golf, this guy's killing it. He makes it very, very difficult for you to get anything because your choices end up being go with him with lousy odds or try to beat him and chase your tail. So he's great, man. What can you say?
And so Charlie, we look back and we think about the Bulls, and all that. But I have to be honest, the Bulls kind of bored me a lot of times because they were never challenged. They never, in all that, 6 championships?
Never got
to a game 7.
Yeah.
Never. Not it. I mean, so, it's just kind of, but you respect the greatness. And you took the words out of my mouth because that's when I'm thinking about Scheffler. Because about 10 minutes on Saturday, we got game on. DeChambeau took the lead. Well, he gave up 6 strokes in the next 25 minutes. For 10 minutes yesterday, Rahm tied him. Now, still, Scheffler's a favorite because it was player friendly yesterday. The pin placements.
He's got birdie holes coming.
He's got 2. He's 2 holes behind.
Right. So he's got birdie holes coming, and Rahm's already
projected to not.
Right.
But they were tied.
Yeah.
And Rahm is. Man, how little have we talked about John Rahm compared to you talk about a guy that's kind of lost a lot of the spotlight with the move to live. But he's just he's great. He's great. I mean, what's the over under? Because you think. I mean, we would both bet that he's going to get a career slam, right? You say you don't know?
I don't know because it's just so damn hard.
Oh, it is.
I mean, when the Arnold Palmers and the Tom Watsons and the Seve Ballesteros and all of these great Nick Faldos, all these great all-time golfers don't have it. I can't just pencil it in.
Okay, so you just say it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Because I was going to be more like, okay, what's the over-under? Yeah. I mean, is it going to be 2020? June of 2028? So as far as for him to complete the career slam, no, it's hard. It
took Rory 11 times.
The public went and the house probably lost some money on this. They bet Scheffler, even at 4-1. They bet him, and but he went 6 strokes. but no real drama there,
No,
man. I mean,
you had to
it's
try
just,
to
and that was kind of the
manufacture
story.
something.
It was just kind of, we didn't have some. And look, the NBA playoffs have been great. I mean, Toronto's still Toronto. I mean, my God, even as little we know about hockey, Charlie, they got smashed. It's like 6-1. Something was 5-0 at one point.
Cursed franchise. I'm not into it, but
So
I know enough
you
to
know
know
who's
that
cursed?
Toronto.
I got another drop for both this morning. It's Texas A&M cursed.
I would just say mismanaged. But
well, that's part of it. But
recently mismanaged.
I mean, they the number one seed in softball.
Mm-hmm.
They gone.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Does that ever happen?
No, not in the first round. Not that I know of. Not in the super regional era. No.
How long is the super regional era for?
Couple years behind the baseball, so like early 2000s.
Okay.
It was 99 for the baseball. They followed suit a couple years later.
You're the number one seed ahead of Oklahoma?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they were
co.
they were co.
I thought it was Texas and Oklahoma were co-champions.
No, I thought it was Texas A&M and Oklahoma. The final of the tournament got rained out.
Right.
But Oklahoma won
it was Texas A&M. It was not Texas.
Yeah,
okay.
Oklahoma won the regular season title.
Man, we got a lot. SEC's good in softball, right?
Dominant.
SEC's good in baseball, right?
Dominant.
Why we get these two newcomers that taking over the championships? Huh?
They're really, really good in those sports. Oklahoma has been dominant in softball.
But we're SEC's the best.
Yeah.
And the newcomers. Well, don't
softball and gymnastics. Oklahoma's, out in front.
They've won a few football games over the years.
They have too. And we're going to get to LSU baseball. I would have led with that, but the Tate story came across first. So we're going to do that in the next segment. We're here at Big Mike's, where there's always something going on at Big Mike's. Big Memorial Day weekend coming up this coming weekend. Come on out, get some cocktails, get some great food. Bike night a week from this Wednesday. They do something special for the motorcycle guys out here in front of Big Mike's. One of the best happy hours you're going to get anywhere, with $2.50 beer, domestic bottle and drafts, and $4 wines, $4 cocktails, cocktails from 3 until 7, Monday through Friday, and all day on Sunday. So you want to come out and watch the golf, watch NASCAR, watch any of the baseball. We got this baseball tournament week, and then of course the NCAA tournament will be next week. So we got a lot of that that's on every TV here in the bar at Big Mike's on Aspen Square in Denham Springs. Not too early to start thinking about fantasy football places to have your draft in August. Tons of rooms here, big rooms, small rooms that you can use for your private parties. Catering, if you're, I know they were very busy with catering this weekend for a lot of graduation parties. If you still haven't done your graduation yet, lots of different options that you can get here to cater from Big Mike's on Aspen Square in Denham Springs. Big Mike's, kind of a big deal. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Sometimes it's so hard to find someone to do home repair, odd jobs due to storm damage, or just regular wear and tear over time to your home. Do like I did and call Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition. Roofing, flooring, debris removal, electric, sheetrock, painting, and much more. Pretty much whatever home maintenance you need, Clean Sweep can handle it. Call Pat Green at 300-7064 for a free no-obligation estimate. Fully licensed and insured, reasonably priced, and for over 20 years in the greater Baton Rouge area. Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition, 300-7064.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we're back here at Big Mike's. Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. Also, new handicast coming your way this afternoon on LSU baseball. Me, Cano, Doug Thompson will have that dropped hopefully in the mid to late afternoon this afternoon. So LSU wins 2 out of 3 against South Carolina. This went not exactly like LSU had hoped, but when they held Anderson and Ianson for the last 2 games, they assured themselves they'd be big favorites in both of those games. Kind of rolled the dice a little bit to win game 1. Could have, but didn't. But they rolled in the last 2 games. Anderson and Ianson pitched very well, though Ianson struggled a little bit with his command early in the game on Saturday. Self-admitted, did not have his best stuff and still put up a really good line. Excellent offensive weekend for Jared Jones with multiple homers. Good to see the Bear coming around a little bit as the postseason starts. Also a big weekend for Daniel Dickinson, Jake Brown, and others. So there's a lot of talk now about did LSU do enough? Well, we went going into the weekend. We thought 2 wins, they get you to 19 in the SEC, and that really ought to be enough. And I still feel that way. And I'll explain why. I know that Hunt, and he and I exchanged texts yesterday morning, got a lot of angst going out there when he said, hey, listen, I don't think it's exactly 100% done. And I know why he's saying that, but I disagree a little bit, and I'll explain why. D1's baseball's projections came out with LSU at number 7. And if you just hear that on the surface, you think, well, then you don't have a whole lot of slack in the rope. I think they have more than what a number 7 seed. First of all, the rankings, this is just what D1 baseball thinks that the committee will do. They don't know. Kendall and those guys are really good, but they don't know for sure. And Rogers himself thinks that LSU is a lock. I've heard him say that. He put that on Twitter. Baseball America and D1 Baseball both have LSU number 1 in the polls, which of course doesn't mean anything to the committee, but it's another reference point.
8th in RPI.
8th in the RPI.
First of all, RPI is leaned on the committee. Just give Barrett Mattel's
very much
more than the rankings.
Very much so. First of all, no SEC team with 19 wins has not gotten has not gotten a top 8. So let's start there. If we're going to talk about precedents, LSU won 7 out of the 10 series, and that includes wins against RPI top 10s, Alabama and Arkansas. Also won against Tennessee, which is a top 20. There's enough on the strength of schedule that you're fine there. I could just say they finished 3rd in the SEC with 19 wins, and I could stop there, and that would probably be enough. But let me put a little bit more context into this. For LSU to fall out of the top 8, somebody's got to catch them. Now, this top 8 includes 6 teams from the SEC. So there's not a lot of SEC teams that are not already in that could come from behind.
What's their top 8 again?
The top 8.
D1.
Texas is number 1.
All right.
Arkansas is number 2.
Okay.
Vandy's number 3.
Wow.
North Carolina, who won 2 out of 3 at Florida State, is number 4. Georgia, by the way, they didn't win the ACC. Georgia Tech did. Georgia at number 5. Auburn at number 6. LSU at number 7. And Oregon at number 8. Okay, so this is all the SEC teams. There are no in their projections. There are no SEC teams that are between 9 and 16. Okay, no, there are no hosts. There's 6 national seed, but there are no other host sites in the top 16. So nobody is coming from behind.
Alabama, with a non-RPI.
They lost that series at Florida 2-1, and they are not in.
Tennessee took 2 out of 3 at Fayetteville.
No, they lost
2 out.
They lost 2 out of 3.
They won the first one, lost the next 2. Okay.
Yeah, Alabama is a 2 seed in their projections, going to Clemson. So this means that 2 non-SEC teams have to come in and take their place. So who's number 9? First of all, number 8 is Oregon, and I think LSU is clearly out in front of them. I don't see Oregon passing them. Oregon State is number 9. Oregon State has 3 fewer Q1 wins than LSU. They have a inferior strength of schedule to LSU. They're behind LSU, and they don't play any more games. They're an independent. They're an interesting case study. They could get a top 8, but it's not going to be in place of LSU. It would be with LSU. The number 10 team in this projection is Coastal Carolina. Okay, they are 4-5 against Q1 teams with a strength of schedule of 71. They won the Sun Belt. That's fine. They are not taking LSU's place. No way. Florida State is number 11. Now, this gets a little bit tricky because they have only 1 fewer win in the Q1s than LSU. They have a 17-10 record in the ACC, and their strength of schedule is just an eyelash better than LSU. If they were to win the ACC tournament, well, then they would be in contention. But it would be awfully tough for them to catch LSU from where they are right now. And keep in mind, only 1 team can win the ACC tournament. So whether we're talking about North Carolina, who's right there, Clemson, who's a little bit further back, or Florida State, everybody else is taking some losses. So there's going to be some wiggle room. And the same thing goes with the SEC. Only 1 team can win the tournament. After you get past Florida State, you've got Clemson, who's only got 8 wins against the Q1. And then you're at UCLA, who is 3-7 against Q1. Southern Miss is 14.
No, Southern Miss can't catch LSU.
They're not doing it.
No.
So to me, yeah, you're 7. But even if LSU, worst case scenario is that LSU loses on Friday. Their RPI is not going anywhere. This is a Q1 game. This is a neutral site game against an SEC team. And if it's against Auburn, all the more. I mean, but even if it's against Mississippi State, there's nobody to come catch them. If there were multiple teams right there, regardless of how these tournaments come out, I cannot mathematically, no matter what metric the committee uses as their top RPI, Q1 wins, road record, whatever it is, strength of schedule. There's not 8 resumes that can get ahead of them.
I think the polls are giving LSU the benefit of the doubt, where the RPI and the RPI is a reflection of a couple of things. Okay, first of all, the non-conference schedule was weak, and then 2 of your 10 series They're against the bottom feeders.
Yeah.
You not everybody got to play South Carolina and Missouri.
No, that's absolutely that is in play. I agree with you there. I think the only other team that got to play both Missouri and
South Carolina,
I think it was Georgia, but I'll look it up. But there was only one other team, and they played Mississippi State too, who is near the bottom. So that's a good point. But it also includes against 3 top 10 teams, a 5-4 record. You beat Arkansas in. You beat Arkansas 2 out of 3, and I think that's why they were number 1 last week. You beat Alabama 2 out of 3, who's the number 9 RPI. You got 1 game against Texas, so that's 5 wins and 4 losses against RPI top 9 teams. That's favorable. I did not expect them to be number 1 in the polls today. I'll be honest with you. Losing 1 game to South Carolina, I thought would be enough to knock them down a little bit. So we look at baseball.
Who was 2 and 3 last week?
Florida State was last week.
Yeah. Like who was behind? Who was in position to pass them up? Yeah.
Arkansas, Georgia, Texas.
Arkansas had a better weekend than LSU
and Florida State.
But LSU beat them.
Yeah, that's why beating Arkansas last week absolutely propelled them. I could have seen them drop in the polls a couple of spots for losing. They might have given North Carolina's 2 and 3 in these 2 for going to Florida State and winning 2 out of 3. Georgia took 2 out of 3 from Texas A&M. They're 3 in Baseball America. The national rankings are a lot less important than the RPIs, but I was a touch surprised that. So
it's close projection, but there is a cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so I just again,
what's the highest RPI not to get a regional period? I mean, like when I'm saying on Alabama at 9 and not going to get a regional.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
D1's projection. It's not necessarily a committee, but I got to think about it. I got to think about that.
Yes, it's not. It's not done yet, but
I know the highest RPI team not to make the tournament was LSU in 11, just because that happened here locally. But I'd have to do a little research to find.
LSU was 11 RPI and didn't host?
No, they were 25 RPI and didn't make the tournament at all in 2011. So
what's their conference record that year?
It was
14 and 16.
12 and 18 or 13 and 17.
Okay.
They didn't make the SEC tournament. This was the old SEC tournament. That's why they changed the format. It was an 8-team SEC tournament. They didn't make it. They left them out. So that's when they changed the format of the SEC tournament. But no, you make a point. That would require a little research. Highest RPI ever not to at least host, if not be a top 8 national seed. So
Florida's up to 13 RPI.
Yeah,
they smoking, huh?
Took 2 out of 3 from Alabama, got to 15 and 15. That is now, I want to say, 13 and 3 in the last 16 games.
Started 1 and 11.
Yeah.
1 and 12 maybe. I think they lost the first game when they turned it around.
Yeah, so there's something like 14 and 3 or 14 and 4 since then. It's really good. They're playing great baseball. If they hadn't dug themselves out that big of a hole, they'd be a host site. But going to probably be, well, you know what? If they won the SEC tournament, they'd certainly make a stand to be a host site.
No. They did not lose the first game of the series once they got going, because they played Missouri. But you turn SEC. How about that? So you gained a lot of confidence after you played Missouri. Hey, they're back to reality, huh?
Yes.
They got 10 run every game. Run ruled every game.
Oh, I know they got
a composite.
Swept. It was
like
bad.
I don't know, like 60 to 15 or something was the score. I mean,
and it's Mississippi State too, who's actually I got to give State a little credit. They got to 15 and 15 in the league. All 3 games were run rules. 25 to 7, 13 to 3, and 12 to 1.
12 and 3, 14 and 4.
That does not help.
14 and 4, Florida. Run.
Yeah, that doesn't help Texas A&M feel any better about their sweep at the hands of Missouri. Watching what
it
makes it worse.
100%. Yes, I mean these are guys that come in and sweep you when you're on the bubble to try and get into the tournament, and State goes in there and just this is a team that fired their coach.
Yeah,
I mean, so how would they perform? But how below expectations have they performed? If they fire the coach and they go and, just destroy the team that destroyed you the week before.
4, 5, 6. I'm counting run rules. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They were run ruled in 12 of their 27 losses in SEC play.
What were they this weekend? I mean, they
lost 25-7, 13-3, and 12-1. The only reason the first game wasn't shortened to 7 innings.
I sold it 50-11.
Yeah, the only reason they weren't run ruled in the first game in 7 innings instead of 9 was they got 10 runs in the ninth.
That's right.
State did.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, the one they didn't run rule, they won by 18.
Yeah, exactly.
I detoured off my earlier commitment on Otterlocks and said I'm going to take Missouri every game. I think they got one more in them. They hit one. I'm going to profit. By Saturday, I was laying the runs with Mississippi State. No,
how many did you lay?
6.5.
Covered room spare.
Yeah,
no problem.
Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title for all of you real estate closings. 296-00-608. Full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service with our great staff. Ashley Bonham Donald, Mariana Broussard Haynes, Adrian Reese Galata, Michael Platt, and Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title. 296-0060.
Live at Big Mike's. Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in Laplace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
TCU 15.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And return here at Big Mike's. We're also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Man, if you're hurt, if you've got an old injury that's acting up on you, been in a car accident, a sports-related injury, let Dr. Michael Goff and his staff get you to feeling better. They've done it so many times for members of my family. So whether it's just getting you into the program and getting you into an exercise and stretching routine that's going to loosen some things up, or you need a dry needle or electric nerve stimulation, cryo, ultrasound therapy, let them be the ones to alleviate your discomfort. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. All right, we don't talk a ton of softball on the show, but we need to bring this up. Just want to talk about this for a second. LSU was eliminated from the regional that they hosted this weekend with 2 losses to Southeastern. My softball people that I talked to tell me that Southeastern was terribly underseeded, and if that's the case, that's fine. But under no circumstances is LSU supposed to lose even one softball game in the tournament to Southeastern, much less 2. You lose a midweek game, that happens. It happens to the baseball team every year, happens to the softball team every year. That is of no consequence. You lose twice in a regional, and well, that's gonna get everybody's attention. Southeastern may have, in fact, been
68 RPI.
68 RPI. They won 50 games. They're a very good team. But when they played Nebraska, they lost the 2 games by a combined score, I think, of 22-1. And now they emptied the tank against LSU. I watched the game Saturday night. It was emotional. It was one of those. It was an elimination game in a regional. So you understand, how those things go. But Southeastern was blasted by a Nebraska team who's got one of the best players in the country in the other 2 games. The regional is what it is. There's more talk about Beth Torina.
LSU was 5 RPI, by the way.
They were a 5 RPI. They were the 9th team in the SEC. They were seeded 9th, and they were the 10th national seed.
Well, they must have had some high-quality non-conference wins. They did schedule pretty good, huh?
Yeah, they had a good team. The RPI was good. The record was 500 in the Southeastern Conference, which you're the 9th seed in the conference. You are the 10th seed in the country. Okay, I'll tell you all you need to know about the SEC. You look at Torina's record on paper. She's been here since 2012. She has won 70% of her overall games. She has won 55% of her regular season games. They have been in a regional or a super regional every year that she's been here. She has been in a super regional 4 of the last 7 seasons. Some of these things they have hosted. She's been to the College World Series 3 times, but not since 2017. There is nothing on this resume on paper that suggests that Beth Torina should be fired. Okay, nothing. You win 70% of your games. You win 55% of your games in this conference. You're in the top 16 every year. That's not fireable.
How many? When's the last time they've been to the Final 8 College World Series softball?
2017.
8 years.
It's been
a long
8 years.
Time, Charlie.
It is.
It's a long time. I mean, should LSU? Does LSU have where they are? You think as far as resources, budget, in softball?
I'm going to
probably the lower end of the top 10. 6 to 10
from a facility standpoint. It's closer to the top. Their performance center is one of the, as I understand it, one of the best. How much NIL money they have to work with, I have no idea. I'm not even going to pretend to know. So if you want to say facilities, that's really good. NIL money, I don't know. there's nothing about this that says.
Yeah, but Charlie, if you don't go to the, if you don't make it to the College World Series for 8 straight years, no, that's underperforming.
And that's what you have to That's what you have to come to grips with. Do you want how good do you want to be in softball? Okay, first of all, there's not, to my knowledge, a slam dunk coach out there that you could go out there and hire and go, absolutely, they'll be in Oklahoma City next year. Not in this league. All right, Patty Gasso's not leaving Oklahoma. So you would take a chance on another coach, and maybe they'd be great, and maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. Like I said, these are not fireable numbers, but it is stale. It has plateaued. It's plateaued. Yeah. There's nothing that you look on there and go, man, that was just lousy. These were 2 bad games. I mean, you can't lose in the postseason the Southeastern.
And of the 8 years, they failed to make it to the Final 8. With 4, 5, 6 times they got knocked out in the Super.
4 times in the Super. 3 times.
So made it half the times to the Super.
3 times in the region, and of course you got the COVID season. It was canceled. So the last 7 years, 7 completed seasons.
Half the time you're not finishing in the top 16.
No.
LSU's got more resources to.
This is what you finished in the Southeastern Conference: 9th, 6th, 5th, 2nd. That was in 2019. 5th and 6th. So you're in the middle of the pack. My thing is, if you're going to spend some more money on softball, I'd rather give her the money today. I'd rather give her the money and let her go shopping to see if she can upgrade the talent level rather than try with a new coach for at least 1 more year. My thinking is this: if I'm Scott Woodward and I'm looking at the athletic department as a whole, okay, I'm going to fire the softball coach who's in the top 16 or so every year. But I'm going to give the basketball coach who can't see 12th place without a pair of binoculars, I'm going to give him another year. So if I'm going to be fair about the whole big picture of the department, I'm going to give her another year. But I'm not going to deny that the program has plateaued.
I don't think they're making a change, but this result, and when you lose to an in-state school like that twice,
that gets your attention.
She's got pressure next
year. If they had lost to Connecticut, it wouldn't feel as bad. And Southeastern's probably better than Connecticut, okay? But it's fine. It's still Southeastern. You're right. The perception of it is you lost to Southeastern twice when everything counted in your park. That can't happen.
No,
that can't happen. So I wouldn't fire. I don't think she deserves to be fired, but if you want to be better than this, you have essentially you've got 500 record in the conference the last 5 years. I think you're 3 games above 500 the last 5 years.
A friend was asking me before the first loss to Southeastern this weekend. It's just Friday at Rufino's, and said, "Hey, are they going to make a change with softball before this?"
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, but I mean, she has plateaued, and that's just it looked like this thing was, you fell into the hire because you're bringing in the guy at first, and he got Colfield, whatever.
Pat Murphy,
and then she kind of hits. She was kind of hot. She got it rolling for a little bit.
She made the World Series 4 of her 6 years.
There you go. Okay, and that's how long ago? I mean, so
she's been in since 2012.
It's declined.
It has.
It's just declined. But I think I'm not. Look, I don't know about all of it. I think this is going to just put a lot of pressure on her for next year.
It will. And you got to make up your mind how much money you want to spend on this. Are you going to give
spending enough on it?
Well,
to me,
I don't know how much they're spending, so I can't say that for sure.
But I think everybody minus Oklahoma in the league is pretty damn. They all got comparable resources.
I expect them to beat Southeastern. That's not overreaching.
No, you don't. Okay? That gets coaches fired.
Yes, you can't. Yes. You can't lose those games.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Don't forget our friends also at Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, just off of Nicholson, across from Mike Anderson's. Yes, indeed, great stuff. Love going over there and getting the tacos, the fajitas, the burritos, the enchiladas, you name it. Hey, how about the Mexican pizza as well? They even do a gyro tacos, man, little Lebanese style. So Joe, check them out. Happy hour is 7 days a week, 2:30 to 6:30 at Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, just off of Nicholson, across from Mike Anderson's.
Live at Big Mike's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lagniappe on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanegraaff. Tee up your savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank. For a limited time, you can earn 4.25% annual percentage yield on a 3 or 7 month CD. If you're looking for a longer term, you can take advantage of 4.05 APY on an 11-month CD or 3.75 on a 14-month CD. The minimum balance is only $2,500. Stop by a Home Bank location to speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanegraaff. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Big Mike's Bike Night a week from this Wednesday. All the motorcycle guys out in the front to do a big deal for that. But there's always something going on here, whether it be line dancing or you get bingo cards with your menus. You can win items off the menu. Great place for your fantasy football drafts. We're starting to think about that as we get into the summer here at Big Mike's. Again, if you missed at the top of the show, William Tate has resigned at LSU as the system president. He is going to take that same position at Rutgers. Tate has been at LSU since 2021. Governor appoints a new president, subject to approval by the Board of Supervisors. So we'll continue to keep you up to date on that story. If any more, we talked about, though, at least one potential candidate a little bit earlier on in the show. Hour number 2 coming straight ahead. We got to get to some of the.
You think LSU? You think you put them at 7? You think that's going to right around when they're going to be? I thought they'd be a little higher.
I think they're going to be a little bit better. And it's important to remember these are D1's projections. This is not the committee's, final.
No, but
that's a week
they're
from
trying
today.
to project.
They're trying to project
it. Yeah, they're not saying this is what if we were the. No, they're trying to predict.
My own personal ones, they would be 5th.
I think I got them a spot or 2 higher too.
They would be 5th. Hour number 2 straight ahead here at Big Mike's live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Tell you what, I was impressed with North Carolina this weekend. That number 1 pitcher, Knack is his name. It's right at
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our free large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, fillet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
This is Charles Hanniger. Tee up your savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank. For a limited time, you can earn 4.25% annual percentage yield on a 3 or 7 month CD. If you're looking for a longer term, you can take advantage of 4.05 APY on an 11-month CD or 3.75 on a 14-month CD. The minimum balance is only $2,500. Stop by a Home Bank location to speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Please consider making a donation locally through St. Vincent de Paul that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation could get you a tax deduction. Visit svdpbr.org.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And return here at Big Mike's. Come on out and see us for lunch. Great lunchtime crowd here. And a terrific happy hour, one of the best anywhere in the area from 3 until 7 Monday through Friday with draft and bottled domestic beers here for $2.50 and $4 Wells, $4 wines at $5 Wells, $5 wines at Big Mike's. I think a couple of updates, corrections from the first hour.
One thing too, Charlie, man, the TV setup in here is awesome.
It is,
huh?
and you hold high standards on your TV set.
Yes, yes. So, and I mean, this is a great spot to watch games. So, I mean, of course, this week we're going to have, Waldo. When do they start in Hoover?
Tomorrow.
I mean, 11 a.m., 10 a.m?
9:30, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have all day in the games. So, man, you can, and it's cool, though, we put on the ACC network for for their tournament and some others. So it's, man, this is time. And so if you look to watch some college baseball for postseason, man, it's a good spot.
It is. Let me a couple of updates, corrections from the first hour. Softball super regional format started in 2005, so it was a few years after I had said the baseball started in 1999. Softball went to it in 2005, and to my knowledge, no number one seed has been knocked out. And in the regional round, I think I had Southern Miss in the wrong conference when I said in Coosa they finished second in the Sun Belt, but right now D1's got them projected to host Coastal Carolina, won the Sun Belt, and Troy is going to get an at-large out of that league. I'm almost certain. They got an RPI in the low 40s, 37 wins. I'm pretty sure they're going to get in. Not as good of a year for the Raging Cajuns. They're going to need to win the Sun Belt tournament to have any chance there. You asked me about the seedings and again, it's important this is just D1's projections. This is not etched in stone, and they're going to update this every day this week. Every day, well, starting tomorrow because there's no baseball today, but starting tomorrow, they're going to update this every day. So you're going to see some slight changes. I have no problem with Texas as the number one seed. They won the SEC at 22-8, and that's enough. I know that they're 4 in the RPI behind 3 SEC teams, but I got no problem with Texas being number one. They went to Oklahoma and won this weekend. And
they won a regular season championship in the best league.
Yes,
multiple games. Huh?
Yes. So
how many games?
The two over Arkansas. Yeah. 2. So I got no problem with Texas being the number one seed. That's who I would have there. Arkansas finished second in the number one league. They have the 2 seed, and I don't have a big problem with that either. They're 5 in the RPIs. They did win the series this weekend against Tennessee. Before that, they had lost the series at LSU. They swept the series at Texas. So in the last 9 games against 3 really good teams, they were able to win 6 out of the 9. So I don't have a problem with Arkansas being number 2, even though before that they had lost 3 straight series. But they got it going in the last 3 weeks of the season. So I got no problem with that. Vanderbilt at number 3. Okay, you got the same amount of wins as LSU. You have a slightly higher RPI. I don't have a problem with that. They've got 15 Q1 wins. That is tied for second most behind only Texas. So I don't have a problem with that. North Carolina is a little bit tougher for me to get them in front of LSU. They're the 4 seed. They have 8 Q1 wins. LSU's got 5 more than that. Their conference record was 18-11. LSU's was 19-11 in, I'm sorry, a much tougher league. I give Carolina a lot of credit for going to Florida State and winning 2 out of 3. They beat Jamie Arnold the other night, who's one of the top arms in the country. I think the Heels are
they had a tougher non-conference schedule.
Their non-conference schedule, it was tougher, but it wasn't tough. It was tougher than LSU's. Their non-conference strength of schedule was 126. LSU's was 221. So their strength of schedule overall is almost identical because the SEC was that much better. But
yeah, they could be ahead of them, they could be behind them. So
it's very close. It's very
might
close.
determine what happens this weekend.
Georgia is the number 1 RPI team in the country, so they're right in front of LSU. LSU was 1 game ahead of them in the standings. They've got a couple of few more wins. That Georgia's still number 1, yeah, because their non-conference strength of schedule wasn't all that great either. It was 81. I mean, it was well behind Auburn's. It was a little bit behind Vanderbilt's. It was, let's see, who else? It was in front of Texas. Texas didn't have a very good non-conference schedule either. And
wow,
you're right about one thing, Jimmy D. The Missouri factor. And to
Missouri, South Carolina,
and Missouri, if you played those teams,
guess what?
It was going to affect your RPI an awful lot. And
yeah, Georgia played Missouri, not South Carolina.
Yeah. So getting both of them, yeah, it ended up being a benefit. So Arkansas, so Georgia, hey, it's close. Auburn, 2 fewer SEC wins than LSU, but 3 more Q1 wins than LSU, and they've got the sweep against LSU in the regular season. Also, the number 1 strength of schedule in the country. So I don't
really?
Yeah,
Auburn. Wow.
So I don't have a problem with them.
So they must have avoided both Missouri and South Carolina, huh?
They did. And
yeah.
So if it was me, I would probably have LSU in front of North Carolina.
They salvage a game in Oxford?
Auburn?
They lost the first 2, right?
Yeah, they did. They got 1.
They got 1, yeah.
Auburn got 2 out of 3.
No,
yeah.
they lost 2 out of 3.
I'm sorry, lost 2 out of 3. And they actually
hit what's the name hard, huh? This game too, Friday. Dutton?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did. That's 2 bad outings in a row.
Yeah.
For him. They did not play Missouri. They did play South Carolina. They did play South Carolina. So they got 1 out of the 2. They also played Mississippi State, who was kind of down the line a little bit, but although not nearly as far. So I could quibble 1 or 2 spots for LSU.
Who are we saying might so we know South Carolina, Missouri not making it. Who was the 3rd team that was in danger?
A&M.
A&M's out.
Yeah.
They lost 2 out of 3 again at Georgia. They got to be out after losing Missouri. And then Missouri gets smashed by Mississippi State. State's in. So everybody else at 13?
Well, everybody plays in the SEC tournament.
No, 13 in the NCAA tournament.
Yes, 13 in the NCAAs. And
you heard about Ole Miss for a little bit? They're playing fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah,
they're fine. They're not even in the first. None of those 3 SEC teams. A&M's not even in the first 4 teams out. They got to win the. They got to win the SEC tournament to get in.
Let me see what if they got updates on to make it to the. What favorite to win it all is Arkansas. LSU and Tennessee are co-second choices, huh? I want that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Georgia, Auburn's 25-1 now, so they went to 40-1, 30-1. Southeastern Conference tournament odds. Arkansas is a favorite. LSU second choice. Vandy in Texas, Tennessee.
14 with the double buys. Sure. I can tell you what some of the things that jumped out to me with these projections besides the top 8 is Georgia Tech won the ACC. Okay, finished in front of North Carolina, finished in Florida State. They're a borderline. They're a bubble. They're bubble top 16 right now. D1's got them as the 16th best team. Somehow, even with that record in the ACC, they are a 20 RPI. Their strength of schedule was 28, so it wasn't all that bad. Yet here they are, kind of hanging on. The projection was Tennessee going to Georgia Tech. How'd you like to have that? Now Tennessee's lost 5 series out of 6, so they've slumped. But boy, if they ever figure it out, from a talent
So what are you asking again?
Tennessee's going to in this projection is going somewhere as a 2 seed. Okay,
Charlotte, Tennessee's not playing well.
They're not. No, they've lost 5 out of 6
and
series.
I understand the danger. I mean,
I would just hate to see them. Just in case they figure it out.
A little bit of. Now, it wasn't like they were ever in danger of getting in like Florida was last year. I mean, they could have been flat out left out.
Or Ole Miss 3 years
okay,
ago.
But Florida still went to Stillwater. They won it, and then lost to the Super. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You think the same kind of, even though I kind of get the same little feeling with Tennessee. They're dangerous, but you can't give them a regional.
No, I don't want to give them. I'm talking about from Georgia Tech's standpoint. If I'm Georgia Tech and I won the ACC, I got two teams that I finished in front of in the conference standings. They didn't play either one of them.
I mean,
and then I get sent an SEC team as my 2 seed.
It happens. Okay, no
doubt
that Wichita State team was undefeated and they were great. Well, who they got to play in the second round? An underseeded Kentucky team who had playing all freshmen and who were way better in March when they were in January. And so, and it was one of the best games, high level games. I mean, it was a Final Four, a championship level game. I mean, it was a great game, but it's just bad luck. I mean, that's where they're going to be seeded. They should be seeded, and Georgia Tech gets what they get.
Some of these other, what I would call,
they avoid? Let me ask you real quick. Do they avoid completely 2 seeds with a 1 at a SEC host?
Yes.
Okay,
but not as a cross one on the supers.
No, the super. I understand that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
yes.
Okay, so well, guess what? Yeah, this is part of getting a good SEC team.
I'm about to tell you about the rest of them. The TCU regional, for instance, has Oklahoma as a 3 seed. How would you like to see them? And of course, these won't all be exactly how it goes down. But sending to TCU, Texas San Antonio, who won the American by 5 games. Okay, now the American was lousy this year. They're a 1-bid league, but they won it by 5 games. Southern Miss, congratulations, you get to host. They send them Ole Miss, who would be a pretty doggone dangerous.
That would be a rematch
3
years ago when Ole Miss went there and beat them and won the first one, and clobbered them in the second game.
Clemson, congratulations, you get to host. You get Alabama as a number 2 seed.
Clemson's tapered off though.
They very much so. Now they swept Pittsburgh this weekend. Pittsburgh's lousy, but they won all 3.
Yeah.
But before that, no, they had lost 3 series.
They kind of tailed off a little bit. No, they were as hot as anybody in the country. Florida's the hottest team in the country. I mean,
probably unless
13-3 run in the SEC.
Yeah. Florida State would get Mississippi State as a 3. Would you like to see Mississippi State and Pico Cone go in there as a 3 seed? I wouldn't.
How have they done since they made the coaching change? I mean, they killed Missouri, but I mean, they swept Kentucky.
They swept Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think
Kentucky come back.
I think they're
how about
7-2.
Those losses, Charlie?
I think 7-2.
They blew 2 ninth-inning leads in Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, a 2-out 3-run homer on Thursday night and Friday. Another one. They were up 2 runs again in the ninth.
I had them Saturday. I took the Slim Reaper, and he they got
beat. They got swept.
Yeah, they lost by 1, 1, and 2.
Yeah, the first 2
in the 3 games. Yeah, it was a rough weekend for them. They would go. Kentucky would go to Coastal Carolina as a 1 seed. This is one of those regionals where the 1 seed would not be the favorite. Coastal Carolina would be the home team, but if you send NC State and Kentucky in there, I don't think that Coastal Carolina would be the favorite. Florida State would be a favorite with Mississippi State in there. I'm not sure Georgia Tech would be a favorite with Tennessee in that regional. Even as bad as Tennessee's playing.
Tennessee is so public. They won't. No, I'm not saying who should win.
Yeah,
but I mean, as far as the betting odds, no, Tennessee's going to be favored.
And I have
to. They love it. Tennessee is their choice to win it all.
Yeah. And I have to be fair with Georgia Tech. They did win the ACC, but they didn't play either Florida State or North Carolina. So you caught the favorable schedule and you won the league by half.
Oh, the SMU football schedule. There you go.
And Florida State lost 3 games to the shooting tragedy that they didn't play. So they were 3 games short of a full schedule. Remember, they had the shooting on campus and they canceled all the games that weekend as they should have. But so they were 3 games short. But Georgia Tech won the league. Georgia Tech won the league. By the way, the other teams that would be in the LSU regional, Miami, Arizona, and Miami of Ohio. So I think they're being a little bit cute. Arizona, Jay Johnson's former team. LSU certainly got a history with Miami. If they sent that group to LSU, that would be pretty brutal. 2 major conference teams like that.
All right, here it is. So Vandy's down 2 on Thursday night. They get the 2-out 3-run homer to steal that one. Game 2 on Friday, Vandy's winning by 2. Kentucky scores 3 in the top of the ninth to take a 1-run lead. Bottom of the ninth, 2-run walk-off homer.
Vandy been winning some close games. Those close games at Tennessee. They had 7 runs in the last 2 innings to win the deciding game in that series against the Vols. So,
our boy Tony V was acting up again this weekend in Fayetteville.
I didn't see it.
Just being,
and the sun has risen in the east. That guy.
I love how they say, man, he's kind of mellowed out. Oh, when they were winning every game last year.
Yeah.
Oh, now
first time he's been thrown out of a game in 2 years.
Yes, he's really well behaved when his team's winning.
National championship year, didn't get thrown out once.
No, indeed. Oh man, don't forget our friends over at Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance, yes, indeed. Now is look. I mean, nobody goes to sleep on. That's the whole thing. Okay, service today, every day means nobody is going to go sleep hot. So that we leaning on those ACs now. It was steamy this past weekend. It's only getting hotter. 480-1000. 480-1000. It's one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980. I've been working with Lucas Ragusa for so many 30 years or so. So he's the driving force behind his company, man. He works hard and, man, really has a great staff that they work hard to. Pleasant to deal with when they come over to your house as well. Just a polished outfit. Total Maintenance, it breaks down on you. Again, same-day service means you'll never sleep hot. Call today. Get service today. 480-1000. Total Maintenance.
Live at Big Mike's. Live at lunch, 104.5. ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Tech, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to the Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Tech exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we're brought to you in part by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike, so let Coastal Capital Advisors work with you, as well as your business partners, your legal team, tax professionals, and make sure all your goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and develop a lifetime plan no matter what your age or your financial situation. They'll tailor-make a plan to work for you, and I know for sure because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff, 337-981-1376. Online, coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA, SIPC. I know one thing. We're going to have an NBA champion that has not been a champion in a really long time, or in at least
somebody's got to win it.
In one case, ever.
You like that?
Yes,
a little fresh air, huh?
Listen, as much as I despise the regular season product, I am happy that in the last 5 or 6 years, the Bucks have won one, the Nuggets have won one, the Raptors have won one. I mean, give me somebody outside of the tradition. I mean, it doesn't have to be the Lakers and the Celtics every damn year, and or the Warriors or the Spurs. And not for nothing, but I can do without LeBron in the finals too. I'm just fine having some of the new blood there. So if you're the Thunder, obviously you've never won it in Oklahoma City. They won it in '79 as the Supersonics.
That's right.
Back that was a Dennis Johnson team. So Oklahoma City's never won it in this venue. The Timberwolves went
to the finals one time against the Heat.
That's right, and lost that when they had the big three.
That was the Heat's first one.
The Heat's first one, and Oklahoma City had.
The Heat with LeBron's first.
Yeah,
okay.
And then they had Harden and Westbrook and Durant. That OKC team, right? That got to the finals.
Man,
I think it was.
Did they have all those?
I think Harden was the sixth man at the time, I believe.
I know that team lost to the Lakers one year.
Yeah, I think that team that was one of the teams that lost to them.
That's
Timberwolves have never been there. The Knicks, I think this is fairly common knowledge because they put it up on the screen a gazillion times. Haven't won it since '70. Willis Reed and Wilt Chamberlain in the finals. And the Pacers have never won an NBA title, though they did win 3 ABA titles. But even that, you got to go back to 1973. So somebody is going to be really excited about their basketball for the first time in a long time. I can't tell you I've got a rooting interest. I am a little surprised that the Thunder are as big a favorites as they are. I understand them being the favorites, but you're telling me that they're fairly substantial favorites. I think this is going to be a great series with Minnesota. And I think so? Yeah, I do.
You think Minnesota?
I think Anthony Edwards has got to be better than he was in the last series. But yeah,
I mean he had a bad half. That was it.
Right.
It was bad.
But he's got to be great, don't you think? For them to beat this team, I mean, I think he's got to be great.
Look, man, the Oklahoma City they caught another big break. I mean, Gordon's a big player, boy. He's pulling that ham,
and he was playing yesterday. Boy, he was laboring.
They were thin. They were thin to begin with, and so with him, I mean, man, look, the Denver had him, Charlie. They could have. The Oklahoma City is vulnerable for such a big favorite. I'll say that. The other thing that comes to mind, I'm trying to think. the only team that's been this far, has had the playoff seasoning, recent playoff seasoning, is the longest shot on the board. The Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
Well, they were in the conference finals last year. They
Mhm.
don't. None of these other teams were, but man, they're the longest shot. Look, they bet the Knicks like the games are over. Okay, I mean everybody's all in on the Knicks, but Oklahoma City, I think, T-Wolves. I mean, it's just.
Haven't the Pacers been the most dominant over their opponents?
What am I saying? Minnesota went to the conference finals last year. They lost to Dallas.
They did.
I'm sorry,
but haven't the Pacers been the most dominant of the teams?
But Milwaukee was shorthanded.
They were.
Cleveland shorthanded. To be
some
fair,
yeah, no,
I mean,
that's accurate.
But no, I think Indiana is. Hey, look, you just watch Halliburton, and I mean, God, what's the big one? Miles
Turner.
Oh man, look, they're very dangerous. They're very dangerous. They're good. I just don't know how good they are. Defensive and rebounding. Usually it takes a little bit higher level on that aspect of the game to win it all. And I don't know how good they're better defensive in him. And they've really been, they've been good. And that run last year should help them. They should benefit from that run last year. And they ran into, Boston was really good last year. So
they've also got a coach that has been around a long, long time. I mean, this is a guy who's a veteran of the playoff wars. He's won an NBA title in Rick Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
That should count for something. That he's got as much. That guy's probably coached 150 playoff games in his life or somewhere in that area. That's not nothing.
Yeah, because I mean the new era coach in the NBA is the guy that looks like he's the ball boy, and don't say anything. You're not allowed to yell at your players. I mean, it's just like, hey, look, just
everybody be nice.
Yeah, I mean it's a now Carlisle's not like an in your face type. They just don't allow it.
Right.
Players will run you off if they got in their face in that league. But no, Charlie, he does. He got it's unusually much more experience. In the post. Never won it though.
Yeah, he won it with Dallas.
He was the head coach at Dallas.
The Nowitzki team.
Okay, yeah. Nowitzki against the Heat. The 4-2. Huh. Okay. No, man. I mean,
guy's solid. It's very good coach.
No, that's a hell of a run. It's just unusual in today's NBA. Yeah. So anyway. All right, let me open the door for this.
Open
it. 3 plates of food. Oh,
eat outside. The weather's nice today.
I tell you what, I give the Jimmy Ott stamp of approval on these new TVs over here. Big Mike ain't playing around, man.
Oh man,
the damn Indy cars look great on that TV.
They're a lot bigger.
Yes.
Than the old TVs. They're a lot bigger.
Yes, indeed. So it is awesome stuff. Total Diamond Performance. Our friends over at Total Diamond Performance, man, it is time. You know what? And the kids are about to get out of school. And so you got even more. It's time for our summertime camps, man. Yes, indeed. Go to tdpbaseball.com for the baseball and softball skills camps, man. So for summertime, best way to register, go to nick@tdpbaseball.com, nick@tdpbaseball.com. But summer baseball camps just around the corner with summertime when the kids get out of school. tdpbaseball.com.
Live at Big Mike's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, the chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we're brought to you in part by the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. Cajun Cooking Specialties, salt cookware shipped right to your door. And right now they got sale items on the website that include grills and gas griddles. If you're cooking outside this summer, get your outdoor cooking equipment from the Thibodeau Store. That includes the Big Green Egg cookers, the ultimate cooking experience, and all the accessories that go with the Big Green Egg. And look, Jimmy, I can cook with it.
Man, the backyard looks like the Vatican right now with the white smoke coming up.
Check out all of the grills that you can get at doitbest.com/Thibodeau Store. Don't forget, with Father's Day about a month away, the custom-made Cypress furniture that you can get for Dad, the rockers, the chairs, the benches, the swings, the gliders, all of it available at both the Thibodeau Store and the Pierre Parts Store, their sister property that's been in business for 113 years now, and Pierre Parts.
If you are an outdoor cook, you like to grill, you like to cook, like a tailgating and things like that, like me, you got to go check this place out. I mean, it's just that simple. You're going to be... You saw me, Charlie, huh?
Yeah.
It was like I got my coffee, man.
It was
look at this. Look at this.
Fabulous.
Give me one of these. Give me one of these.
Kid in the candy store.
Oh, it's awesome,
at the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. This is not breaking any news here, and this is not a new topic. It's just a renewed frustration. So I'm going to throw this out there, Jimmy, because I know you watch this stuff. Yesterday, Paul Skeens threw 8 innings of 1-run baseball at the Philadelphia Phillies. This is the Phillies lineup, right? This is Bryce Harper. This is Trey Turner.
Yeah, that was a good lineup.
This is Kyle Schwarber. Okay,
Yeah.
this is no chump.
Yeah.
3 hits and 1 walk in 8 innings and 1 run, 9 strikeouts, and they lost 1-0. Time before that, against the Mets, it's a pretty good lineup too, right? 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, 1 run, and they lost that one. Time before that, St. Louis, 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts, and basically 1 base runner per inning, and they lost that one. You get the idea. This is what Paul Skeens has had to do. He's 3-5. Okay, he has an ERA of less than 2.5. It's in the top 15 in the league, and it's a WHIP of under 1, well under 1 actually, and it's in the top 10 in the league. He had to throw 6 1/3 innings of shutout baseball with 9 strikeouts and no walks at the Dodgers. It's a pretty good lineup too, right?
Yeah,
kind of expensive. Okay, that's what it took for him to win that game. He threw a good game against Washington where he threw 6 innings of 1-run baseball and 7 innings of shutout baseball at Tampa to win. His 3 wins this season. This is what it takes for Paul Skeens to win a decision, okay? 6 1/3, 6 innings and 7 innings, 19 1/3 innings of 1-run baseball. That's what it's taken for him to get 3 wins. And in those 3 wins, he has struck out 21 and walked 0. He's got to be perfect. I mean, he literally almost has to be perfect for them to win a game. They've lost 1-0. They've lost 2-1. They've lost 4-3. They've lost 3-0. I mean, listen, I know he's there for a long time because he just has to be. That's the rules of baseball. But he got to be getting somewhat frustrated if he hasn't been for, kind of since he got there.
We've been talking about this for 2 months. It's just it's constant. It's not going away. He's got a losing record, and he's a favorite to be the NL Cy Young.
That's amazing.
I mean, 3-5. Hey, at least we've monitored. You want to talk about maybe some analytics or some advanced statistics, and sometimes that they're such an important component, a piece, but not just to decide everything. But man, keep in mind the win-loss record is so it's diminished how important it is. We've gotten past that. The one. Remember what DeGrom did that one year? And I think he had was it losing around 500.
He led the league in ERA and he had a losing record.
Well, I mean, he lost like 12 1-0 games or something. They scored like one or less runs, like 18 games, 18 of his starts, the Mets that year. But he's plus 180, and it's a sizable lead, Charlie. Yamamoto from the Dodgers is second choice at plus 380. So I mean, he's a significant favorite to win. Now he's got, his stats are really good. They're still kind of, they got some other guys that are just as good statistically.
The strikeouts are not, he's not
the
striking out
strikeouts
as
are
many
not.
guys.
The strikeouts are down. Strikeouts are down. He's basically a strikeout an inning, right?
Yes, he's exactly a strikeout an inning. And it's a little bit higher walk total. It's not outrageous. It's a little bit higher walk total. It's 16 in 62 innings. So he's still well below the curve. If you take out the game that they scored 10 against Washington, okay, they're averaging 2 runs a game in his other 8 starts. So one game they get loose against the Nationals. Everything else, they're averaging 2 runs a game. I just don't. I can't imagine the frustration.
It's getting old real quick, and I mean,
And he's been up a year. About a calendar
year. A little over a year.
Yeah, right. So last May, he comes up, and at some point you get tired of beating your head against the wall, but he's got a long way to go.
Because last year he couldn't get the wins because they had him on that tight pitch count.
That's right. And they fired the manager. Okay, fine. I mean, you're rearranging the deck chairs,
Yep.
If you're not going to spend any money. You remember, you brought up DeGrom. This is my favorite in the all-time no support. The year Nolan Ryan led the league in ERA and finished 8-16. You remember that one? I'm pretty sure.
I remember Steve Carlton.
I'm pretty sure it was he went.
They had a losing record. He won that.
He won 27 games and they won, I think, 60 total. or something like that. Is that the year you're talking about?
Oh no,
he was like 27-3, and the team was like 64-98.
Oh no. Oh
something.
yeah, I think one year though he had to lose. Was it? No, that's right. That's right. They were last place team.
He won
And
almost half of
yeah,
their games
yeah.
that year. Ryan led the league in ERA and lost twice as many decisions. As I can't remember if that was with the Astros or with the Rangers. I think it was with the Astros.
I tell you what, you talk about another team that fired their manager too. It's not producing. Baltimore, Charlie. Baltimore's $1.50, $1.60 favorite every night. They are terrible. It is unbelievable. Everything was heading in the right direction. Last year, they didn't make any moves with the problem. And the guy like, a phenom like Jackson Holliday, he's not good. I mean, he's you got to be getting a little worried about this guy's going to be a bust or not. He does so many things well, though. His fielding is super sharp in the field, runs the bases well, but he's not a tremendously big guy, and he's got a big swing for a smaller guy. Now, when he gets it, it's beautiful. He's got a beautiful swing, but damn, he's just not good. I mean, this is second stint, trying to go. So they've got they get hammered. They got swept this past weekend at home by the Nationals. I mean, they are, minus the White Sox and the Rockies, they're broke. And they were expected to be really, really good this year. So
they were supposed to be.
They finally put Nolan on IL. Because it was by far his worst start. We talked about it. And then one of his worst starts ever. I mean, they had a 5-1 lead, and he couldn't get out the third. He gave up 9 earned runs. I think it was a career high.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a Cardinals game. They put him on the IL right after that. His ERA is over 6, so he's maybe, we talked about how he's finally missing starts. The first time in his career, right? Because he had like 5 years in a row. Whatever.
Yeah, he did not miss. Did not miss a start. Now let me ask you on the other side. And we've been talking about this since he started out so rough. Dylan Cruz came out of the gate really, really slow, and then for about 2 weeks, toward the end of April, he got real hot. He got got his average out of the cellar. In May, he's hitting 151.
Yeah,
again.
They got him batting 9th in the lineup. I made a hell of a catch the other day.
Yeah, the defense. You still see him with the web gyms. From time to time.
He can run too. He's very aggressive when he gets on. But it's just it's
second time through the league. They're making adjustments on him. I don't watch it enough to know. I'm just asking because he's such a good hitter, and I
know, but Charlie,
but right now he's not hitting well, and
you hope it's way early to try and get, but you got to be a little concerned. This ain't no lock that you're gonna be. You mean that great prospects just don't pan out,
and you drop them in the lineup to 9. So what does that do? It takes some of the pressure off of you of hitting in the top of the lineup, but it also probably means you see less fastballs. Usually that's the case. And that makes it that makes it a little bit harder on you. So
he went 2 for 4 yesterday.
He did have 2
RBIs,
hits yesterday. 2 of the last 4 games he's had 2 hits, but it's been a rough May. Been a rough May for him down at
and where he was the second pick in the draft. Where was Holiday?
First or second?
Yeah. I mean, way up there.
Yeah.
And
Cruz at 191 for the season so far.
Cruz, how about that? Was Jose Cruz Jr. a big prospect?
Oh yeah, he was.
Well, how did he pan out?
Not well.
Yeah, no, really wasn't it, So I mean, it's let me see what I'm interested to see what Jackson Holliday's hitting right now. He is hitting. He's back. Oh, he's up to 275 now.
Oh, you're fine.
He's up to 275. He is because they had him batting, but now he's batting leadoff. Okay, so he's starting to catch on a little bit. His last game. Well, he had all 3 games this weekend. He had multi hits. So he's finally good because before they had 7 hits this weekend, but 1 or less hits like a lot before that. So
we're brought to you by Total Maintenance, AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing. Total Maintenance, your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Since 1980, they're saying nobody's going to sleep hot. They expanded their business into New Orleans, so full-service staffs in both areas. Authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem. AC units, Generac, and Cummins generators For all of your electrical and plumbing needs as well in Baton Rouge, 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. Take a break, come back, wrap things up here at Big Mike's in Denham Springs on Aspen Square, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. It's rolling.
This is Charles Sandegriff. Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch. We're at Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas, and we do first class, second class, and no class. Plus, the Southeastern Conference Baseball Tournament is underway. Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson's at 11 o'clock on Tuesday, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other. Prepared at different temps if you like. Bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance a home? At GMFS Mortgage, we make it easy because we're local. Our underwriting and processing happens right here in the Baton Rouge office. That means faster approvals, smoother closing, and real people who understand your needs. For over 26 years, we've helped our neighbors in Louisiana achieve the dream of home ownership. Visit GMFSmortgage.com to get started today. We are GMFS Mortgage, your local lender. GMFS.
NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Big Mike's, where happy hours Monday through Friday from 3 until 7 and all day on Sunday. One of the best happy hour, significant discounts all the way around. A true happy hour here at Big Mike's.
Come check out the new TVs, man, in the bar room too. We are ready for postseason college baseball on TV. Yes, indeed.
We got at least one. We're going to get this information trickle in the rest of the afternoon. Bama's going with their ace tomorrow, Tyler Fay. They're
Against who?
Against Missouri.
Oh,
and
they
bring it. They believe they must that they are right there on that. They need to make a little mini run in this tournament, despite their RPI.
That's not what this means, Charlie. They need to avoid a bad loss.
Okay, that too.
Yeah, because if they're trying to make a run, you don't use up your best pitcher against Missouri.
You're bringing back on 4 days rest.
They think they're getting a regional, and they get minus avoid just a real bad loss, because to make a run, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to make a run. No, you don't use your ace against Missouri. Hell no.
Well, what I meant was, to make a run, you got to win the first one, and you can't lose to Missouri. We're saying the same thing here, basically. D1 doesn't have them as a host site despite a 9 RPI. So I kind of thought, if you'd asked me yesterday before I saw the D1 projections, I would have said Alabama was a host site, but not a top 8. They think that they are outside of that now, so they're going to run their ace out there on 4 days rest to make sure they don't lose to Missouri, because if you lose to Missouri,
that's damaging.
Yeah, that's
damaging.
That will take care of it. For sure. And I wonder, LSU got.
I think that. I mean, that's hard not to get 40 wins, and the finishing that high. I mean, the top 10 RPI. That's
16 and 14 in the league. 16 strength of schedule. 14 Q1 wins. No, I would have thought Alabama would have been I think would have been a host. You know what else LSU's got going for them is they play the last game on Friday. They're the last team to take the field, so they will know a lot about what is going on in case anybody does try to sneak in the rearview mirror. Plus, it puts you on full rest, puts you on 7 days for Anderson, who pitched last Friday. If Jay Johnson follows his script that he did in 2023, he let Paul Skeens start that game. He gave him, I think it was 85 pitches, 87 pitches, and then got him out.
Yeah.
I would imagine that would be the same thing for Anderson.
Yeah.
I would not pitch him. I don't want him to go 2 weeks without pitching at all, but 75 to 85 pitches is plenty. And if they win, same thing for Ianson on Saturday.
Yeah, a little bit different approach with Maneri. Maneri's trying to win this thing. I mean, a little bit more committed to trying to win it than
he left his pitches in a little bit longer. And that was such a hard this tournament. For LSU to win this tournament, they got to win 3 games in 3 days. It's like any other SEC series. That's why I like this single elimination format so much. You know me, the SEC tournament's been more of a survival thing than it has. There are years where I've actually, in my head, rooted for LSU to lose just so they go home and rest, because you're not. These rosters are not built to throw 5 games in 6 days. They're just not. And so if you got your seed locked up, and I think they do, get you guys out there, get them their work, and get them out. And that's what I think that Johnson will. That's what I think Johnson will do.
I've seen him do it. Yeah. No, but if they're borderline.
Now, if you're borderline, that's different. You got to go out. And there have been years where Maneri's teams had to go there trying to win to secure what they had. And I think they won it 5 or 6 times under him. They won a lot of those, I think. If you win this tournament, you can beat anybody. This tournament, when you get down to 4 teams, this tournament will be tougher than any regional. It's super regionals. You could put any 2 of them together. Probably won't, be as tough or tougher than any of those.
Yeah.
It's a great collection of baseball talent is what you're going to see starting tomorrow morning.
Mississippi State, think they're going to keep the interim if they keep playing pretty good?
No, they want the guy from Duke, is what I'm told. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Oh, okay.
I think that's who they're trying to hire. Or if it works out, it works out.
2 straight. I mean, won 6 in a row. Huh?
7 out of 9, I think.
7 out of 9.
What it is.
Won 6 in a row in the conference.
Is it 6 in a row in the
Well,
conference?
he swept Kentucky and Missouri.
Yeah, but I thought Kentucky was 3 weeks ago. I could be wrong about that. Is it 6 straight? No, they had Ole Miss in between them. They took 2 out of 3. It's actually 8 out of 9. They took 2 out of 3 from Ole Miss and swept Missouri and Kentucky. So, yeah, they fired him right before that. They lost, and they hadn't played a midweek game since then. So, yeah, they're in pretty good. They're in pretty good position to see what goes down there. you had a note on Jack Leiter before we.
Yeah,
before we
man.
start wrapping up?
The Al Leiter's kid was great for Vanderbilt, and it's kind of been hurt a little bit in effect, but he had a no. Diaz broke up the no-hitter and led the comeback for the Astros win, but he had a no-hitter through 6 against the Astros yesterday. So some life out of him as well. So that's another underperforming team as well. Kind of waiting for them to come around a little bit. But shoot, man, Dodgers got beat this past weekend. The Padres got beat by the Mariners. I mean, it was, there was some of the big boys went down this weekend, and the Yankees took 2 out of 3 from the Mets. So
see Devers walking off for the Red Sox on Saturday night.
No, that was
Saturday night against.
That's the 1A1.
Yeah,
because they lost the other ones.
Because
what's the name? Sale beat Crochet.
Yeah,
Crochet got beat. But and then they blew him out yesterday.
They sent the owner to talk to Devers about maybe playing some first base, and he's like, "No, I'm the DH. Right now, his DH numbers are probably top 3 in the American League, top 2 in the American League. Since he got that terrible start."
Who?
Asked Devers if he go play some first. He had an injury at first. So you gonna go play some first? He goes, "No, I'm DH." So you remember all the stuff with
Well, no, the owner
third.
went down and talked to him.
Yeah, like last week,
like at Kansas City.
Yeah, and said, "Would you play first?" I said, "No."
I thought he was. I heard the results of the meetings were the meeting was productive.
It was. Devers told him he wasn't playing first.
Oh my god!
I guess if you homer to win the game, you can get away with that stuff. He's hitting now, though. I mean, he's
he is.
He's on fire after that slow start. Thanks to the folks here at Big Mike's Happy Hour, 3 to 7, Monday through Friday, all day on Sunday. Always line dancing, bingo. Great place to have your fantasy football drafts here at Big Mike's. For Jimmy Ott, for Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Henniger saying thank you and good afternoon, and stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Jasmine, or the new Parboiled